Hey everyone, it's Mallory here, taping this week's version of Work It Out Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're enjoying these videos so far. Feel free to comment on our YouTube page or our Facebook page if there's something different or new that you'd like to see that we haven't posted yet. So today's exercise is going to be designed to really strengthen the quads, so the front of our thighs, and then hamstrings, the back. So everything, the majority of it is going to be done in standing, just using our own body weight. We're going to have a brief warm up, kind of get our heart rates going, get things loosened up a bit, and then we're going to move into our lower body strengthening section. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So just to kind of get that heart rate up a little bit, we're just going to walk in place, 30 seconds for each of these. Just getting that heart rate up a little bit. Feel free to get the arms going too. Try to get those steps in. And then when we're done with this, we're going to add in a kick. Keep on stepping. Nice job. Maybe pick up the pace a little bit for the last 15 here. Get that heart rate slowly creeping up there. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do alternating kicks. Kick. So we're doing a lot of lower body work here, so really getting those hips and everything kind of loosened up. Don't have to kick up very high. Just kind of switch from left to right. Again, really focused right now on getting that heart rate up. And then now, if you feel comfortable, I'm gonna do same arm, same leg, and punch. Punch and kick at the same time. Really just getting everything warmed up. You don't have to, you can always come back to having your hand right there on your hips. Just getting that heart rate going. I go back to my kick and punch. All right, 10 more seconds here. We're gonna go into our modified jumping jack. 3, 2, 1. All right, make sure you got space to move. So trying to get these arms loosened up too. So we're gonna step out, same arm, same leg, and then come right back into center. So stepping out, coming back in, or picking up the pace. Just to get everything loosened up, really reach over as far as you can. Feeling a nice, good side body stretch here. Reach and reach. Really stepping out. Nice job. Feels good to just get up and move after sitting all day. Last 30 seconds of cardio here. Reach, reach. Nice work, everybody. Keep it going. Nice deep breath in and exhale. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, lad, we're going to finish with arm circles. So go ahead and bring your arms out straight into a T position, and then palms facing forward. You're going to do your arm circles forward. Let's do 20 each direction, and then we'll switch and we'll come back. All right, I've got 7 more. 2, 1. All right, keep those arms up if you can, and then go ahead and circle back for 20. And my heart rate already came up a little bit. Breathing's a little bit heavier, so cue into that breathing. Nice deep breaths in, deep breath out. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, go ahead and put your hands on your hips, bring your knees up towards your chest, just one knee, and then rotate that hip out. Just kind of doing some hip openers here. Getting things loosened up since today is really focused on lower body work. All right, so we're gonna do a bit of a circuit at the beginning. So I'm gonna have you alternate between 3 different movements, and then we're gonna repeat that whole sequence 3 different times. Do 1 more on each side. All right, so we're gonna alternate between a deep lunge and a curtsy lunge. curtsy lunge on both sides, and then a regular squat in between. So what it's gonna look like, the whole thing, is you're gonna come here. I'm gonna bring, my feet are, you guys can see them. Okay, so I'm gonna bring my left leg behind my right leg. I'm gonna squat down to my curtsy lunge and try to maintain my balance. And I'm gonna pulse here for 10. And then after that, I'm gonna come back to center, rearrange my feet, come into a bit of a wide squat here. So my feet are at 10 and 2, and then squat down, get in that nice comfortable squat position, and then pulse for 10. If that does not feel comfortable on your knees, you can always kind of just come into a mini squat position and hold, or do some small pulses within a range that feels comfortable for you. Just watch those knees, making sure they're not collapsing inward. And then we'll pulse there for 10. Once you're kind of at your comfortable height, and then lastly, we'll finish doing curtsy lunge on the opposite side. So you bring one leg behind the other, squat down, and then pulse. So we're gonna alternate between those 3 times, 10 pulses in each position. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. Gotta bring left leg back, curtsy lunge down, and 10, here for 10. 3, 2, 1, good. Come back to center. Bring your feet out to 10 and 2. Sink your weight back into your heels. Sink that butt down. Make sure your knees aren't collapsing inward, and we're here for 10. Just squatting straight down. Keeping that core engaged, stay nice and tall for your center. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Okay, now let's go ahead and do curtsy lunge, bringing the right leg behind. Squat down, and again, only squatting down to a degree that feels comfortable for you, and then we're here for 10. So I'm really not moving too far, just squatting 1 inch down, 1 inch up. But I feel it. 3, 2, 1. All right, go ahead and shake it out, shake it out. We're gonna repeat that same thing 2 more times. So once you're ready, go ahead and get set up for me. Bring right leg behind, left leg behind, and then curtsy lunge down for 10 pulses. Nice job. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Come back into your 10 and 2. Sink your weight down into your bottom. Weight into your heels, I should say. Sink your bottom down, and then pulse here for 10. It's a very small movement. Just 1 inch down, 1 inch up. You should feel the burn. I do. Here for 3, 2, 1. And then last one. One more over here, and then we're doing that whole thing one more time. All right, so now I'm bringing my right leg behind my left. Curtsy lunge down and pulse. You could always keep a chair or do this near a stable surface so you've got a little bit of support should you need it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness. Okay, one more round and we are all done with that circuit and moving on to something else. So when you're ready, shake out those legs. Should be feeling it. Let's go ahead, bring the left leg back first. So curtsy lunge back and squat down. Remember, stay nice and tall. Try not to collapse forward. Stay nice and tall. Your shoulders are stacked over your hips. Whoop, it's okay if you lose your balance like I did. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, almost there. So come on out to 10 and 2. Engage that core for me, and then drop your weight down to your heels and pulse. 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo. All right, last set. Okay, left leg comes in front, right leg goes behind. Balance is really off today. And then you're going to sink your weight down and pulse. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness. Whew, felt that one for sure. Okay, go ahead and shake it out, shake it out. So we are going to do basically a modified single leg deadlift. So I'm going to have this guy for support. Bring this back here a bit. Okay. So I'm going to support, I'm going to use my left leg first. So I'm shifting my weight over to my left leg. I have a small bend in that left knee. I'm not locked out. And then staying nice and tall, good straight line through my whole spine. I'm gonna reach forward, creating a long line from my head to the bottom of my foot, my right foot, and then coming back to center. And it's really your glutes and your hamstrings that are bringing you back to center. So you're reaching forward, holding there for a second, and then coming back to center. Really just letting your arms hover here. I don't want you gripping on. It's just there for balance. And come back to center. Really think about using that standing leg glute, so it's my left, to bring you back to center. We're here for 10. Good. If you want to kind of feel like you got the hang of it, maybe you go ahead and ditch that upper body support, but it's certainly there if you need it. Bringing one arm out, kind of that gives you the idea of really reaching from opposite ends. So reaching with my left hand and my right foot. Get just 3 more over here. Two. And 1 more. Whew. All right. Okay, we're going to switch to the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to move my chair. You guys can hopefully still see me. Bring this back a bit. Okay, so now I'm going to shift my weight over onto my right leg. I still have a bend in that right knee. I'm not locking out my joints. Excuse me, core is engaged, stay nice and tall through center. And then I'm going to tip forward. And then reach that arm forward and that left leg back, holding there for a second. And then coming right back to center. And remember, it's our standing leg, glute, and hamstring that's pulling me back up. And then once you feel like you kind of get the hang of it, you can try without that upper body support. If that's just not happening today, then that's all right too. Reach, you're halfway there. Doing great. So definitely don't want to rush through this. Take your time. Reach forward and back to center. I think we just have 2 more. I'm going to try the last 2 without reaching with my one. Last one, reach. And come back into center. All right, everybody. Nice job. Okay, so you can kind of set that chair aside for now. We're going to come back to it. But basically now we're going to come into hamstring curls and calf raises. So it's there if you need it, but for your hamstring curls, what I want you to do is either with or without upper body support. If you want a bit more of a balance challenge, you can. I'm going to shift my weight over to my right leg, and then standing here, I'm going to curl my left heel up towards my bum and then slowly release back down. You're kicking up and releasing back down. You should be feeling it here, right in the back of the thigh. So we're going to do 10 on each side, and then we're going to switch. That was 3. This is something you could, of course, progress if you had small ankle weight or a resistance band that would be in front of you that you would be curling. Just for that bit of added resistance. I personally don't need any. I've got really weak and tight hamstrings, so just going against gravity is enough for me. 2 and 1. All right, same thing on this side. Go ahead, hamstring curl up and slow back down. So you're trying to get your heel as close to your glute as you can. And then same thing, really be mindful of engaging your core, staying nice and tall through your center. Try not to tip forward as you're curling your leg up. And then also keeping a small bend in that standing leg. Protect your knee joint. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, next one we're going to go to is a hamstring curl. No, sorry, calf raise. What am I thinking? It's a calf raise. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up onto your tippy toes and then slowly release back down. Go ahead and bring your feet out like this, almost like you're a pretty ballerina. And then from here, you're going to lift up and slowly come back down. And then same thing, the Upper body support is there if you need it. Otherwise, you can try putting your hands on your hips, bringing them out to the side like this, maybe putting them up overhead like this, whatever feels comfortable. But we're here for 10, then we're gonna go back into hamstring curls. And I'm gonna give you the option for an added challenge with your hamstring curls for this one. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so this time I'm gonna do my hamstring curls while standing on the ball of my left foot. So I'm up into a calf raise, and then from here, I'm hamstring curling on my opposite leg. So we're just getting more bang for our buck on that standing leg. Now it's having to hold me up, that calf's having to work to hold me up while I do my hamstring curls on this side. Nice job, halfway there. Make sure your low back doesn't arch too much. I kind of caught myself, so try to keep that core engaged. If you can try lifting that hand up. 2, 1. That's a real balance challenge, especially as you start to get tired. Okay, now I'm gonna rise up onto the ball of my right foot. I've still got this for support if I need it, and then I'm gonna hamstring curl up and slowly back down. Ooh. And try to keep your thigh really quiet, that's not moving. You're just bending at the knee joint. Feel free to play with that balance challenge. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and, finish up with 10 of our regular calf raises. So coming into that pretty ballerina position, so feet are at 10 and 2, and then you're gonna go ahead and raise up and slowly back down. So raise up and back down. Woo. I am feeling it for sure. All right, we're almost there, guys. We're maybe halfway there. No, more than halfway. More than halfway there. We're gonna go back into those single leg deadlifts that we were, without any weight, that we were doing before with the chair. 2 and 1. Woo. All right, so I'm bringing back my chair for support. And then the last one we're gonna do with this guy close is that alternating single leg deadlift. So I've got my weight on my standing right leg. This is here for support if I need it. And then I'm gonna kick my left leg back while reaching my right arm forward, and then using my right glute to lift me back up to center. I'm kicking and reaching forward, opposite end, and coming back to center. Really reach and come back up. Reach. And I don't know about you guys, but your hamstrings likely to be screaming right about now. Be really mindful of your core being engaged. That's also going to help you as you lift back up to center. Reach and come back up. I'm going to try doing it. It's really, obviously, a lot harder to balance on this carpet than it is on like a gym floor. 2 more. Reach, come back in. Whoop. And definitely finding a focal point will help. Something that's not moving, something stationary on the ground. All right, last set over here. Roll out my foot there. Okay, go ahead and switch your weight onto your standing left leg. And then I've got this there for support if I need it. I'm kick that right leg back, reaching my left arm long, and then coming back into center. I'm gonna switch my chair. If you are opting for upper body support, which is totally fine, ideally you'd have it on the right side since we're working the left leg. Reach. I'm gonna again challenge myself since this is our last set. I'm gonna try to do it while standing on one leg. Whew. Some serious concentration. My left leg is burning 2 more. Really remember where you're supposed to be feeling this. Hamstring, glute area. All right, done with that one. Whew. Okay. Last standing exercise. Just gonna move this so I've got room. Okay, so the last one we're gonna be doing in standing is kind of a three-way lunge. So I'm gonna shift my weight over. So we're doing a lot of single leg movements that require a good amount of stability on the support leg. So it kind of challenges your muscles in a different way. So I'm gonna have you shift your weight over onto your right leg, and then you're gonna lunge out towards the side, feeling a good stretch on the inside of that right thigh. Then I'm pushing my weight, shifting my weight over towards that left side, push off that left leg, come back to center. Now, I'm gonna step forward. Whoa, balance is off today. Lunging into that front left leg, and then coming back to center. And lastly, as long as I've got room, I'm going to step back with that left leg, and then come back to center. So we're doing it in all three ways. So we're going out to the side, front, and then back. So lunge out to the side, and back up, forward, back up, and bring it back. And really watch the knee of that standing leg, making sure it doesn't collapse forward. So really only lunge as far forward as you feel comfortable. I'm doing 10 total here. And back. Forward. Whoa. I shouldn't have let my chair go. This one takes a good bit of concentration. Forward. Just a few more here. And if your knee bothers you, again, only lunge forward as far as you feel comfortable. So my left knee sometimes gives me trouble, so I'm not gonna lunge too far or lunge too deep, especially coming forward. I do two more here on this leg. But he's doing great. Last one. Side, back. I think I'm doing this in reverse. On this last one, I apologize. And come straight back. Woo. All right. Now we're going to repeat that same thing, but now using our left leg for support. So shifting our weight over onto our left. We're going to lunge out to the side onto our right leg, push back to center, lunge forward onto that right bent leg, push off, come back to center. And if you've got room, lunge back, push off, come back to center. Side, together, front, together, back, together. But try not to rush through them. You control, watch your form, watch those knees, making sure they're not collapsing inward. Nice job, everybody. This one takes a bit more concentration, otherwise I forget a direction like I think I just did. Back, side, front. Got two more here. Front, back, side. Last one. Front, back, and side. Woo. All right, done with that one. So now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna make our way onto the ground. We're gonna do a bridge with a heel lift, really activate those hamstrings, and then roll over onto our sides to stretch our hamstrings. And then, stretch our quads, and then we'll finish in standing, stretching our hamstrings, and it'll be done. All right, so I'm just gonna switch my camera here. That should be all right. Whew, my hamstrings are tired of getting on the ground. Okay, perfect. All right. Feel free to towel off, grab water, or if you need to pause while you grab a yoga mat, whatever works. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a bridge. So I want your feet to be about hip width apart, shoulders nice and relaxed down. And then with your core engaged, keeping a nice flat back, go ahead and use your core to lift as you come to center. And then while you're up here in this position, try to keep your glutes relaxed, but that core engaged. Maintaining a nice flat back, protecting that back. And then once you're here, you've got a nice stable pelvis. You're going to go ahead into alternating heel lifts while keeping that belly button pulled into your spine the whole time. And breathing. Try to keep those hips lifted. Try not to let them drop too much. All right, just a few more. Do 3 more on each. Last one. Slowly lower down. Beautiful. We're going to do one more round of those and then finish with a bit of a challenge in this bridge position. Okay, whenever you're ready, go ahead and roll on up. Make sure, check your form, make sure your core is engaged, hips are stable, and then go ahead and lift and lift. Stop, everybody. Breathing here. Home stretch. And then we get to stretch. Five more on each side. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Oh, goodness. Okay. Last one we're going to do is an alternating straight leg extension while we're up in that bridge position. So go ahead and engage your core, flatten out your back whenever you're ready. And then the motion is going to look like this. So make sure those feet are hip width apart. And then you're going to lift your hips up. And then we're going to alternate extending one leg, switch, extending the other leg. Try to keep your hips nice and lifted off the ground while you do this. So you should be feeling definitely obviously your quads and your glutes firing, but also the hamstrings firing to help keep you supported. Stop breathing, really watch those hips, make sure they stay stable. You're not rocking too much side to side. Oops. 3, 2, and 1. And slowly lower down. One more set of those and you are all done. And it's time to stretch. Okay. So we're going to finish up with 10. All right, whenever you're ready, check your feet, make sure they're hip width apart. And go ahead and lift up. Go do your extensions. If this doesn't feel okay, if it hurts your back, if you're finding that your hips are dropping a bit too much, or maybe they're kind of unstable, you can always just hold yourself here in this bridge position. Breathing is always good. And 4. And 3. 2. 1. Whew, we did it. All right, so to stretch our quads, go ahead and roll over to one side. I'm going to lay on my left side first. I'm going to grab the top of my right foot and then gently pull back to where I feel a good stretch across the front of my right thigh. Holding here, breathing. You're almost there. Got a nice cool down here. Just a few more seconds. All right. Let's go ahead and switch. Same thing on the other side. So I'm going to roll over and face this way. So now I'm going to lay on my right arm, grabbing the top of my left foot. Gentle pull in, feeling a good stretch across the front of my thigh. Almost there. Maybe a few more deep breaths here. All right. Go ahead and come to a seated position. If it feels okay, you can extend both legs long out in front of you. If you're pretty tight in your hamstrings, you can always create just a small bend in those knees. But I want you to try to reach forward towards those toes. You feel, let that head just relax. Feel a good stretch in those hamstrings. If that doesn't feel great, you can always do one at a time. So tucking one leg into the center, letting one leg go out long, and then try to reach down for those toes. Guys did great today. All right, go ahead and switch, or you can take a break from that other position if you're in the double leg straight out. Definitely notice a difference with one side being tighter than the other, for sure. Oh my goodness, big difference. So the hamstrings are really big muscles, so we really should be taking a good amount of time to stretch them, holding it for a good 30 seconds, doing it a couple times. All right, that's it for today's session. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see everybody next week. Bye.